You've never heard of the most popular player in women's tennis. The Aus Open didn't realize how many fans she had. Scheduling is a tricky business for tournament organizers, given the competing demands of international broadcasters, keen to showcase the best in prime time for their markets. But the Australian Open struck a snafu on Monday with their decision to schedule trailblazing Filipino Alexander Ila on Court 6, which is Melbourne Park's designated party court. UFC 325. Volkanovski versus Lopez 2, Sunday, February 1st. 1 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time. For the first time in his storied career, UFC featherweight champion Alexander Volkanovski would defend his championship in his home city of Sydney in a rematch with Brazil's Diego Lopez. Order now with main event on KO Sports. The most recent census said there were 58,935 people born in the Philippines living in Melbourne, and it felt like every single one of them was packed around the court's perimeter or squeezed into the narrow pathways surrounding it. Ila may be the biggest tennis town Australians have never heard of, but the tennis world is well aware of her drawing power, and AO officials should have known this. Just last week, respected Australian tennis administrator Peter Johnston told FoxSports.com AU that when she was playing a tournament in Hong Kong that he is a tournament director for, there were massive entry queues at the Victoria Park precinct. She is a huge draw and a breakout star. When she was playing in Hong Kong in October, we had queues of more than 100 meters long from local Filipinos who want to see her. Johnston, who served as the AO deputy tournament director earlier this century, said, "The queues were even bigger at Melbourne Park as fans clamored to get a glimpse of the world number 49, who upset six-time major star Iga Swiatek in the Miami Open last year. Such was the demand. Fans were told not to even bother, with extra security around the court carrying an electric atmosphere throughout her clash with Alicia Parks. They were not exactly your typical tennis fans either, madly cheering when Parks produced an unforced error in the very first game of the match, which is against the unwritten rules of tennis fandom. Ila, an aggressive shot maker, is not quite the finished product and can be erratic, but it is indisputable she sits among the world's biggest stars when it comes to metrics. The Australian Open's own YouTube account demonstrates this, with their posting of Ila's pre-tournament press conference drawing significantly more views than that of two-time champion Aryna Sabalenka, a staggering 171,000 to 8,000. So strong is her profile at home. The WTA has scheduled a tournament in Manila later this month to capitalize on her profile, one she will now be likely to feature in. The fact it was scheduled during the second week of the Open suggests tournament organizers weren't expecting her to make a deep Grand Slam run, genuinely wondering if Alex Ila is already the most popular player in women's tennis right now. U.S. tennis writer Ben Rothenberg tweeted, "It would be hard to argue any player had a more passionate fan base on site on Monday. Certainly. Despite losing 0 to 6-6 to 3-6 to 2, Ila spent a solid 10 to 15 minutes post-match signing autographs for her fans."